Hi everyone, Vickie here, Rock and Roll Prophetess, and we're going to take a look at the new moon in Gemini happening on June 3rd, 6:02 a.m., but times are going to vary. I cannot believe that the year is halfway over. This is a psychic astrology reading, so I use the chart as a jumping off point, but it gets more and more psychic as it goes along. If you're not into astrology, it might start out a little bit more astrology than you're comfortable with, but bear with me because it gets more and more psychic as we move through. And then secondly, if you're a real strict astrologer and by the book and don't like the psychic and it's a science, then maybe this isn't the forecast for you. Alright, so here we are. We've got the sun and the moon in Gemini, and the part of fortune's in there too, and Mercury's in Gemini, so it's a major kickoff of this Gemini energy. Gemini is talking, speaking, writing, communicating, short distance travel, your siblings, your neighborhood. But it's lightning speed, things moving like lightning. I'm hearing spreading like wildfire. So I hope that there's not going to be a huge wildfire after this, but that's a possibility. Maybe it's not huge, but you know, this is aspecting Jupiter. We've got a T-square in the mutable signs. So we've got this stellium down here of Gemini with Jupiter up there, and then we've got Neptune over here in the mutable sign, so it's squaring off with everything. Neptune really seems to be the center of it all, because it's definitely making a tight orb square with Jupiter, and it's making a tighter orb square with the Sun-Moon conjunction of the new moon. So to me, this square kind of pivots on Neptune. So Neptune is this illusion, this spirit communication. It's your dreams. This is a lot. These two are a lot about knowledge. Sag and Gemini are about knowledge, about travel, about discovery, discovering new things, learning new things, maybe enrolling in a class, something like that. And then Neptune, it's almost like my little introduction there, This is all the learned stuff. This is studying from books and learning and, through experience and things like this. But Neptune is where we bring in the psychic and the spiritual. The psychic and the spiritual. This is where we get the downloads. This is the creativity. This is imagination. So the square is considered a conflict, but it can also be squares make things happen. So people could be getting downloads. By expanding outside of your comfort zone, which is what Jupiter is about, because this is where you were growing up, your neighborhood, your kid friends, your siblings and that. And this is where you go beyond that. This is traveling abroad. This is seeing different cultures and different ideas. By doing so, we could also be getting a lot of psychic and spiritual downloads. A lot of people go on vacation this summer too, so maybe you're going to be traveling, but also there could be psychic spiritual downloads connected to this. Some of you may travel places and be that past life thing. I think I mentioned that in another reading, where you're just like, oh, I know this place. I've been here before. This is so familiar, like some kind of a past life recollection or recall. That could be pretty strong too. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice again. Yeah, but Gemini is about movement, thinking, mental, these types of things. There's a Neptune is trining the nodes too. Yeah, Neptune is strong in this chart, even though it's really about the Gemini energy. What's missing here? Well, let's start with this. Don't lose this now. Neptune trying the node. So again, the nodes are about our past lives, and it's a higher thing. That's a lot what I look at in those soul readings. I look at the nodes as well as some other factors, but it's a determination of a bigger plan in life. It's where we've been as a soul and where we're going as a soul. That's what the nodes can show us, or where we'd like to be going, or where we should be going. The North Node is our true north. So Neptune's really getting aspected with the nodes, and then Saturn's involved in everything. So this is about, burning up old karma, having insights and downloads, and tuning into that, being able to align with that through psychic and spiritual things, because this kind of stuff you don't often get through your mental mind. Maybe sometimes you would. I did that past life video a long time ago. It could be like the movies that you like from another era, and or books that you like, that could be a past life thing. But most of the time it does come through this sense of knowing, this sense of feeling. And it might not even be about past lives. The North Node is just what we're supposed to be doing in this life. By traveling and moving around, by movement, travel, going, you could be getting some insights into where you're supposed to be going. And Mars is in there too, so that's going to give us the energy to go do it and go after it. Because there is such a concentration of energy in Gemini and that mental vibration, this could also be like we do get it. We do get it in our mind. Because sometimes the psychic spiritual stuff, it just passes us right by, just comes and goes. It's coming and going all the time. It's just a matter of us noticing it and utilizing it. So the Gemini energy connecting with this so strongly can be that we do notice it, that we do make a mental note of it, that we do put it through our brain and run it through and comprehend it and chew on it and think about it, that it does reach through, because there's like the etherical realm and then the earthly realm, so it can like pierce. That's what I'm hearing. It could pierce through the ethereal realm into the mental realm. And creative stuff is big time, thriving at this point. Where the other leg of this, if there was another leg, what's missing, because it's a T-square rather than a grand cross, what's missing over here is Virgo. So if you're a Virgo, you have a lot of stuff at Virgo, this is really going to hit you. It's really going to hit you. The other thing that's happening with the Earth, we've got Venus, trine Earth, we've got Earth, and then the other thing that's missing again is Virgo. So there, there's like almost everything points to Virgo in two different ways as well. But let's examine this. We've got the Venus in Taurus trining the North Node and Saturn and Pluto up here. So Venus is always, well, it can be. It's mostly thought of as favorable. Love, beauty, harmony, creativity. I've said this before, but you could make something beautiful out of some past pain and suffering. Make some beautiful art out of it. You could find a way to take, wrap this up all in a package and put a good spin on it. This being your past wounds, your past lives, how you've been oppressed, how you've been, all the burdens that you've had to carry thus far. This Venus trine could really be a breakout thing for that. It's how to put a positive spin on it, how to rise above, how to be the phoenix rising from the ashes, how to communicate it with all the Gemini, communicate it in a creative way, or use your words when confronting these types of things. And they could be just in your spirit and your psyche, or actual people when confronting them, or powers that be, like maybe a boss at work or something like that, authority figures. When confronting them, maybe you can do it in a very Venusian way, maybe in a very eloquent way with all the Gemini stuff. Maybe we can articulate our feelings without it coming off as, causing friction or being aggressive. Is that be aggressive, be aggressive? Is that it, or is it aggressive or something? That just popped in out of nowhere, so I think it's like a cheerleader thing, which is totally out of the realm of my interest or experience, believe me. But anyways, what else is going on in this chart? Yeah, Pluto's with the nodes. Venus is trining Saturn. Okay, yeah, and Pluto, we just talked about that. And Mercury is opposing Jupiter. Yeah, the Sun. The Sun thing is not really making any direct aspects, according to this, no tight orb aspects. So it's kind of on its own, Gemini. It has this feeling, I'm hearing the word rogue. Like somebody or something could go rogue and just go off in their own direction with speed, so fast that you couldn't, they started running their, talking, and then next thing you know, it's off and running, and there's no, the cat's out of the bag, I'm hearing, So you might want to dial that back. But to me, it's more like it's somebody else. It's somebody else that's like, and then you're trying to say, wait, don't say that, and it's too late. They're just blah, 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 blah. The cat's out of the bag. It is trining over here to the palace in the sign of Libra. So again, new and innovative ways to be diplomatic with the Libra energy being in there. Diplomacy, balance, seeing both sides of the story, communicating our griefs and disagreements and in ways that aren't going to offend others, in ways that are striving towards solution-oriented, compromise-oriented, not just keep stirring the pot, nagging, no. Finding solutions, solution-oriented. Because that's, people are so quick to, well, blah, 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 no, nah. Well, offer up another solution then. Let's, instead of just saying what's wrong, you're wrong, you. Let's say, well, what's the solution then? It's a waste of breath, to keep talking, just trying to force your opinions on people. And when really, maybe there's a compromise. Maybe by listening, instead of talking so much, you could discover something and be willing to admit that, yeah, wow, I didn't know that. Or wow, that really puts a new spin on things. That really sheds a new light on things. Instead of just blah, blah, blah. Truth be damned. I don't want to, we don't want to know the truth. No, we don't want to know the information. Well, this wants to know the information. This energy wants to know the information. This energy is curious. It's curious. It wants to explore, learn, divulge, I'm hearing. I wouldn't really put divulge with it, but that definitely did come through. So, on a mundane level, it's a good time to travel, get things done. The energy's going to be moving real quickly. Things are going to be moving real fast. They're telling me opportunities could come through, and if you don't grab them, you lose it. It's going to be gone that quick. The Jupiter thing, there was something else that came. See, it comes in so quick, you lose it. Your mental thoughts, just like me trying to do this reading. There was something about the Jupiter. Oh boy, I just lost it. Well, what else is going on? Anything? We've got Lilith over here in Pisces. Lilith in Pisces is going to be more compassionate energy, Lilith is traveling through Pisces and she's going to learn about compassion. Because Lilith is an empowered woman, but it's kind of that same vibration, It's all this warrior. Pallas is the warrior, Athena. Yeah, it's good to be fierce and it's good to be the warrior, but there's something to be said for the feminine. Venus is a feminine energy. Pisces, I feel, is a feminine energy. Something to be said for that feminine energy. Something, there's, exploring, not being so outward, but being a little more inward. Especially because Gemini is definitely an outward energy. It's go, do, talk, Oh, the Jupiter thing. Some of you might hear something from somebody that has been gone a long time, like that moved away or something that you haven't seen in a long time. That comes through really strong. Or while traveling abroad or traveling in different places, you could run into people that you knew before. There could be a reconnection. But also, even if it's not, doesn't seem to be a reconnection, it could be, again, tied into a past life. This is a time when we could be meeting kindred spirits from other lifetimes, and perhaps that are very different than us in this incarnation. Perhaps that are, completely different culture, or completely different religion, or completely different race. But yet we find that we get along, we have a lot to talk about, we're fast friends, we want to go off together and have a conversation. So be open to that. And if you're closed down to anybody of a different, all those things I just mentioned, race, religion, the list goes on, then you would have missed out on something maybe truly magical and truly wonderful. That's what's so great about the internet, because you don't always have people in your hometown or your neighborhood that you have anything in common with, or even your family, But through the internet, we can find our commonalities, we can link with people who are very, in different locations, because Jupiter's long distance away from you too, travels. in foreign countries and foreign concepts and things. We can link up with people who are in different countries or whatever, but share our same interests, you know. So there's something really cool about that. If you can get past these initial barriers. And these lower houses is like the initial barriers. This is like just thinking with your monkey mind. That's Gemini's the monkey mind, you know. But we need our monkey mind. We need our monkey mind to operate in this 3D reality. It's not, I'm not saying monkey mind as a put down. Everything has its place. But also then we have the expansion of the Jupiter and Sagittarius energy. Yeah, so that, you know, it's just a Gemini new moon, a lot of Gemini energy, and the nodal energy is finding our path in life. News could come, messages could come, ideas could come. This is very much an ideas aspect, especially with the Neptune. Sparks of brilliance, ideas, those light bulbs going off over everybody's heads out there, brightening up the whole sky and the whole universe out there. So yeah, there's that energy for sure. Lilith is sextiling Uranus too, speaking about ideas and that type of energy. So again, instead of, if you know, it's like the question, well, how's that working out for you? If you've been fighting, aggressive, pounding against what you're opposed to, how's that working out for you? Is that getting you anywhere? You know, is that making it, is that changing anybody? Are you changing anybody's minds? Probably not, you know. So let's go for something that's more solution oriented, and let's be more open and adaptable ourselves too, to listen to the other sides of whatever argument it might be. I mean, a lot of things are politics these days, you know, but it could be a lot of different things, and nobody's right and nobody's wrong all the time. I've seen that. I've seen people who I basically agree with on most things, and then somebody from an opposing point of view will say something, they'll just shut it down. They'll just shut it down. Well, that's not cool either, you know. Find the truth, find the knowledge, take the higher ground, be more expansive in your view of the universe. There's a whole world outside of your little circle here. There's a whole wide world out there. And we all are living on planet Earth, on Mother Earth, on Gaia, and we all need to get along, you know. We all need to find peace or some common consensus that we can all live by. That is Libra, fair and just for all. I guess. I don't know. There's not a lot of meat in this chart. There's just things I've really talked about before. So I think I'm going to wrap it up, but I wanted to let you guys know I am offering not only the solstice reading for the summer, mostly summer for most people, solstice in June, but I've also added the eclipse reading for the summer's eclipses. I did them back in 2017 for that big American eclipse thing, and people really liked it. And I thought I'd bring it back because we've changed, because the nodes are changing. The eclipses are solidly changing into Capricorn and Cancer now, where there was the Leo Aquarius, you know, so it seemed kind of redundant to keep doing it. So I've opened up what it's going to be. The solstice reading is a biwheel, what they call a biwheel. So your chart, and then I put the solstice chart around it. And that's a prediction for the upcoming season. The eclipses bring about a lot of changes usually, but it's also a look ahead for maybe the 6 months. I've told this story before, but when I used to work the psychic fairs, there was this older woman there, and she would tell you your whole, because you only have like 10 or 15 minutes to do these mini readings, you know, and then there's a line and people just keep coming. So you got to find a fast, concise way to do a reading when you're at working one of those events. And there was this lady, I don't know if she's still alive. If she was, she'd be in her 80s or 90s by now. But she could tell you your whole life story just by looking at eclipses, right out of the ephemeris. She'd just say, oh, well, this, when you were this age, this should have happened, and blah, blah, blah. And she would just blow everybody's mind with this. So she would read, you know, just the eclipses you can really tell a lot by. So this will be your chart, the solar eclipse in Cancer, and then the lunar eclipse in Capricorn. And we'll take a look at how the solar eclipse will affect you, and then the lunar eclipse as well. So that's available on my chart too. On my website. And you can find that website above or below. Yeah, so it's the Gemini new moon. Another thing that just came to me is a good time to, if you have had a falling out, I'm feeling like people are going to be reconnecting from the past, and it's nothing really that I can justify necessarily with astrology other than the Neptune aspect, but it feels like that. So I mentioned before maybe running into old friends that you haven't seen for a long time, but I'm hearing mending fences, and I'm feeling like that could totally be a thing. Like somebody that you had a falling out with for a really long time and haven't talked to. Maybe you could make peace under this, you know. It feels more like it would be, you know, with this quick energy, like you might just run into them, especially if it's like a local person. Maybe you're just going to run into them wherever, you know, at a store or gas station or, you know, something like that, concert. You know, but it would be like, it's a time to bury the hatchet, mend the fences, you know. There's a lot of old time, what do you call those, euphemisms are coming forward right now. But I feel like that's going to be a thing. That there's, even though neither of these are both moving forward, learning more, go, that Neptune in there, reevaluating past decisions, reevaluating your stance on a lot of things, reevaluating your stance on anybody who's had authority over you and has tried to, or maybe succeeded at being powerful over you or ruling over you or trying to suppress you. You know, having a new outlook on it, having a new mental awareness, like, oh, you know, a lot of these types of, when there is somebody like this, they were probably, you know, people just aren't born that way, you know. They were treated that way themselves. They were abused. They were suppressed. They were, you know, they're angry little, I keep hearing angry little man. So for somebody, that's a direct message for you. He's just an angry little man, and you can see him as such now. That time has passed. Now that you have a broader perspective, you have a greater knowledge. You don't, it's not like he's this big bad boogeyman who lorded over you as a child, probably. He's just this angry little man. And it's just so simple. It's this simple truth that and it can be, these simple truths can be these things that are just lifting burdens right off of your back, right off of your shoulders. So some things like that could definitely be occurring. And forgiveness is also huge for this chart, I feel. All right, well, my voice is starting to cut out again, so I'm going to wrap it up. So thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out those couple of chart offers. They'll both be for a limited time. End of June for the solstice reading, and then probably end of July for the eclipse reading. So check it out if you're interested. Thank you all so much for all your support. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you can't find my videos. Have a great new moon in Gemini, and I'll speak to you soon.